So I want to talk about how important it is to take care of your health to escape what I call the health matrix, okay? I did a Substack article on this earlier. I will have the link down below. Follow me on Substack if you like good writing. Anyway, getting into the video. We are lied to consistently about pretty much everything. I think a lot of people are starting to understand that. And they're starting to understand that this bill of goods that we have been sold is no good. And that is kind of like the American dream. I'm not trying to sound doom and gloom. Again, I want to keep this channel somewhat positive, but it is impossible to deny that the things that we were once told we were going to have, and I think a lot of Gen Zers would agree with this, are no longer really feasible. Unless you're making like $200,000 a year and you have impeccable credit and all these things fall into place, it's really difficult to put yourself in a great position. But one thing you can control, for the most part, is your health and fitness. And that, I think, is the hub of the wheel, right? All the spokes coming out that go into the different areas of your life. Health, fitness, psychological health, spiritual health, nutrition, all these things, even social health, are going to be crucial going down the line because it's easy to fall off. That's where I want to start. It's really easy to fall off, to get disgruntled, to be stressed out by whatever it might be, finances, these world events, the fact that nobody in power is held accountable for pretty much anything, the fact that so many people still think that these politicians, the government, etc., still have their best interests at heart. It's frustrating. And what can happen when you get frustrated is you get what's called triggered. There's triggers. And when people get triggered, and I don't mean like snowflake triggered, I mean you get emotionally triggered for whatever reason, that's when usually the bad habits happen. That's when the drowning out happens. That's when the numbness happens. Alcohol, drugs, video games, porn, all this stuff, right? You do something, I know what it's like in the past to just go through the news cycle and read about all these stupid things going on. Half of them aren't even real. Half of them is just to make you afraid. And then what happens? You're just like, screw it. I'm going to have a beer or 5, right? And you start to feel better for the moment, but you don't really feel better. And then as soon as all that passes, or you play a video game for a few hours. And I'm not here to judge people on whether they play video games or do any of that stuff. Whatever. I used to play video games. I've said this before. But I think if you're really trying to live a life of purpose, it can get to the point where you're doing things too much, right? You can have a glass of wine here and there, but you can't be drinking all the time if you want to have a successful life, if you want to have a life of purpose. So this message is really going out to the chosen ones, right? I've heard several channels referring to this phenomenon, the chosen ones. We all want to think we're the chosen ones. But I think the chosen ones, as I'm saying this, are the ones that really wake up and realize the bullcrap that's going on and go through that dark night of the soul that I've talked about in other videos, go through those dark times where you feel like nobody understands you, you feel like you're being isolated, you feel like you can't talk to other people because, first of all, they don't have any idea what's going on, but secondly, they don't want to talk about it. And, there are some of us that just like we feel like we have a bit bigger purpose. And so I'm getting off topic already. But what I'm saying is, if you're one of these people that feels like you're going through these tough times, you're not alone. And guess what? Times are tough. Times are going to get worse. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. But you have to be able to keep your cool. You have to be able to stop what Napoleon Hill called the opposition, the drifting. I would recommend people to read the book Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. It's a must read. It's an entertaining book. There's a lot to be learned from it. Napoleon Hill was a very smart person. He figured it out. Some of these guys, they really just figured out how the matrix works. They hacked it, right? Financially, spiritually, psychologically. But I want to stick on point with the importance of keeping your health and fitness, okay? Because there's almost no bigger ensnarement in this day and age than having your health go downhill from stuff that you could control, getting super overweight, neglecting your sleep, neglecting your psychological health. Next thing you know, you're on all types of drugs. Now you're numbed by the pharmaceutical drugs. Now you have to pay for those. You're constantly going to the doctor. I've met so many people online that are just constantly going to the doctor. They're getting misdiagnosed with this. By the way, this is not medical advice. This is only for entertainment purposes. The fact that I have to say that is BS, but I will say it. So don't do what I'm saying here without consulting a professional. Anyway, people end up getting ensnared in the hospital system. They're going in there. It's expensive. And then what happens? It's expensive. Now you're financially decimated and you're stressed out even more. And then you have to go back for more. You end up on this drug. You end up on that drug. The side effects from this drug mean you have to go on the other drug, etc. So you can take a lot of your health into your own hands. If you work out every day, if you push yourself every day, either in the weight room or outside, or just by doing resistance training, whether it's push-ups, squats, kettlebell workouts, there's so many things you can do at home with like no equipment. You can go for a run. You can go for a long walk. If the weather there is not permitted, you can do work inside. You just have to do it. You have to make up your mind to take your health into your own hands. It's got to be a top 3 priority, okay? Family, fitness, finances. In that order, in any order, any of those things. If your finances are super out of whack, you're going to be stressed. It's going to be tough. You got to find a way to make it work, right? If your fitness goes to hell, now your health is going to be bad and you're going to be at the whim of this system, because this system is just it's really trying to break us down, guys. It's doing a darn good job too, right? Again, going back to like the vicious news cycle that we see. Every time you open it up, it's like more of our rights are taken away. There's more surveillance going on. I mean, things are more expensive. There's more hoops to jump through to do simple things. I'm about to travel to Europe, and it's like I am looking forward to the trip, but I'm not looking forward to going through the airport and TSA, right? I hate the TSA more than anything, honestly. There's few things out there that annoy me like the TSA. Having these people fondle you, rifle through your stuff, slow you down, hassle you, question you, pat you down, scan you, question you. They don't even know you. Act like they have some kind of authority over you. Humiliate, essentially a humiliation demoralization process before you've even gotten on the plane. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about that gets worse all the time. The police force. Not here to like rag on cops, but it's like you're getting hassled for stupid things. Most of them are not fighting crime. Most of them are just pulling people over for stupid little things and extorting their money. Oh, you were going over the speed limit. Oh, you veered into this lane a little bit. You failed to maintain. I got a warning once for failing to maintain. There's 50-mile-an-hour winds in Wyoming. They were just looking for a reason to pull us over because we had Colorado plates. But what I'm saying, and I bounce around a lot in these videos, going back to the crux of it, that's part of the fun, guys, is that it's my channel. I can talk about what I want. But what I'm going back to the point of the video. If you focus on fitness and health and nutrition, first and foremost, like make it a focal point. That's something you can do every day. Like your next meal, instead of grabbing the bag of Doritos, consciously be, okay, I'm going to, let's say you don't have any food prepared at your house. It's a bunch of junk. Okay. You go out to the store, you buy some ground beef, get as high quality as you can. Don't break the bank, cook it up, cook up some frozen vegetables or bake some, whatever. Fry up some frozen vegetables, a little bit of rice, get yourself a steamer. You can get one you can buy one at Goodwill for $5, a steamer. Steam some rice. You've got chicken, broccoli, and rice. Add a little bit of salt, add some seasonings. There's your meal. You're going to feel a lot better after having that, and you can save those meals throughout the day by meal prepping. Do it once on Sunday or someday during the week, and then just keep those meals around, right? But it's a conscious decision. It's so much easier to do what? Grab a bag of Doritos. It's so much easier to grab a frozen pizza. You know, it's been a long day. See, this is where it really becomes a test. How bad do you want it, right? How bad do you want good over evil? Are you going to fall into the trap like most people do and just make excuses? Oh, I'll start it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm too stressed out. It's going to be a lot easier to eat these Cheez-Its, whatever it is. You know, this bag of Cheez-Its is calling my name. Like, it's discipline is tough. As Jocko Willink said, he was asked, why is discipline so hard? And, you know, his usual type of response, discipline is hard because discipline is hard. That's the whole point of discipline. If it was easy, everyone would do it, right? But if you get your health and fitness on point, you stop getting sick, you start sleeping better, you get more confidence in your body, you're stronger, your cardio's better, you can go longer, your energy's higher, you're eating better, you're looking better, your skin's better, your breathing's better, your eyesight's better, your hair's better, your nails better, your digestion is better, everything is better, your blood pressure is better, everything will get better. And then guess what happens? That bleeds into the rest of your life. You got more confidence, you got more energy, now you can go after the things that you know you need to get done. You were having some issues with self-confidence to talk to that girl, now you can go do it. You were having issues with energy. It was hard to start up that side hustle because you know you need to make extra money. Now you got the energy to do it. And you make it part of your life. You make fitness part of your life. Again, it can be going for a hike. It can be anything. I would recommend, if you don't have a lot of money, you go out and buy one kettlebell, okay? Go out and buy one 53-pound kettlebell, and you can do an entire workout with that, and it'll cost you $80, right? If you get it shipped, it's going to cost quite a bit because they're heavy. But if you go to Dick's Sporting Goods, you can get a 53-pound kettlebell for like $60, right? That's it. You don't have to buy a $1,000 treadmill. You don't have to buy a whole squat rack. I could show you an entire workout with one kettlebell. Definitely. Between that and body weight, you're set. And then again, you just start to take control of your health. Because one thing that we are lied to about, expressly lied to about, is that all these preventable illnesses out there, preventable diseases, they make it sound like, and I hear it from people all the time online, just, you know, it's like put the blinders on and just black out these people on social media, unless they really seem like someone that knows what they're talking about. The ones I've heard people recently that were saying things like, you know, fit people can still get diabetes, right? And I'm just sitting here going, what kind of a stupid comment is that? Well, not if you're fit. They're not fit then. If you're fit and healthy, you're not going to get type 2 diabetes. All right? If you show up at the gym and walk on the treadmill for 20 minutes and leave and go get a giant burrito with a pound of rice on it, that's not being fit, right? It's kind of ridiculous, guys. But so put the blinders on, disregard these people out there that are just feeding this nonsense. Don't listen to any of these government health people. I mean, I harp on this all the time, but they're cringeworthy. And they look terrible too, right? But they're not out there to help you. You have to understand, I wrote about this in another Substack. You have to understand that all these people are mouthpieces for like candy soda companies, whole grain cereal companies, Kellogg's, drug companies, pharmaceutical companies, Bayer. You know, they're trying to feed you Ozempic. The Watermelon Association is not lobbying Congress. The Almond Association is not lobbying Congress. Do you see what I'm getting at here? These people do not want you to be healthy. If they did, then they would tell you how to be healthy. And I wouldn't need to say these things. But they don't. And so what happens is our healthcare system ends up ballooning out of control. Everyone has to pay for it. Everyone's getting sicker, more overweight, fatter, more psychologically sick too. And we find ourselves where we're at. And it's not good because so many people are miserable and they just don't want to admit it. But once you talk to people and you really get down to it, most people are miserable. And I didn't want to end it on that kind of a note, guys, but take your health into your own hands, because if you don't, someone else is going to. I will see you in the next video.